Hey, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is a game that exists. Lots of people are excited for it. I'm a person. I'm excited for it. Travis is a person. He's at least somewhat excited for it, or at least he should be.
I'm just eager to see what's happening there. Like,
oh, stuff's happening. 18 minutes of stuff is happening. And apparently when we get the full game, like, hundreds of hours worth of stuff is going to be happening. It's going to be crazy. And I have thoughts. I might pause it a few times because there's a few of these scenes where I have thoughts and I want to point out things because... oh, this is something I need to mention. I've seen all these already. I'm so excited about this game that I've watched these trailers many, many times, especially the ones that go in depth. Travis has never seen one of these trailers ever, so this is his first time seeing what the game looks like at all. He hasn't played a Lego Star Wars game in a while. It's been many years. But both of our second favorite Lego games are Lego Star Wars games. We especially like the prequels. And there's a lot of prequel stuff in these trailers, so there's a lot for us to love. There's a lot of original trilogy stuff. There's even sequel trilogy stuff for those two of you out there who like that. In fact, it might just be one. If you're the one guy watching who likes the sequels, hey, what's up? I can't believe we got you. That's amazing. Here we go. Here's the first trailer. The first trailers are not super crazy. You're not going to see much, but then it starts getting wild.
oh, that man's gone.
He fell into the next trilogy somehow. Oh, and one funny thing that you're going to notice is how the release date keeps getting farther and farther away the more trailers you see. Look at this first release date. 2020. That's 2 years ago, man.
Yes, it's not here yet.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Ah, same thing. We might just be watching the same one again. Never mind. There's our buddy Darth. There's a lot of Darths, so that doesn't really specify very well.
They told me they fixed it.
Oh, they still thought it was coming 2020. They told me they'd fixed it. No. Needed 2 more years of fixing.
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
The Force is unusually strong with him. That much is clear. Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker has become.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
That boy is our last hope.
No, there is another.
I'm from the Resistance. Your sister Leia sent me. We need your help.
Gotta love old man Luke.
The Force will be with you, always.
I don't know what they just said.
Not him, the Falcon.
That was Yaddle. The other Yoda.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
So be it, Jedi.
See what the date is now. 2021. Oh yeah.
We're getting there.
It became more realistic.
Not quite though.
Okay, I think next is where the trailers start getting like into detail as to why this game is worth playing.
That guy.
Yeah, you gotta fight that guy.
I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
How did my father die?
Ready are you? What know you of ready?
The rebellion is reborn today. The war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi. Reach out.
There it
Yes,
is.
boy.
That's accurate.
I am ready. Ben, I could be a Jedi. Ben, tell him I'm ready.
Okay, after seeing that, I want to ask. I know we already brought this up in the top 10 video games video, but what is it about the original Lego Star Wars game that you said was, I don't know, number 8 or something?
I really think the story was pretty good. I've played a few Lego games where, like, I knew what the actual story was to whatever it was based on, like the Indiana Jones or whatever. About, like, 40% of what the game actually was about was, like, accurate to the story. The other, like, nah, you don't know what's going on. The you know, the old Lego Star Wars was really accurate to the story as well.
Yeah, because, I mean, compared to the...
And that seems pretty good, too. Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems accurate. So.
Compared to the second Lego Star Wars game that came out with about the original trilogy, the first one didn't have a lot of filler, just puzzles and stuff, which, you know, it made the game shorter, which people might not like, but it kept the story a lot more focused on the actual movies. It's like, hey, what happened in Phantom Menace? Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, they fought some droids on that ship. That's what the level's going to be about? Okay. Whereas in the original trilogy game, it was more like, okay, what does Luke do in this scene? He goes to the Jawa ship and saves C-3PO and R2. Alright, they're going to be pushing around some boxes in the desert. Like, oh, that's not what they did. And it's good to have some puzzles, but I'm glad that this one seems like it's a lot more focused on just telling the story through Lego as opposed to creating a Lego game based on the movie. Like, it seems like they're more using Lego and the Lego game series as a medium through which to tell the movies to, I guess, kids. Like, I know for me, I played the Lego game of Star Wars before I watched the Star Wars movies. So I didn't know what was going on, but then when I did see the movies, I was like, hey, I'll remember that. I remember that from the game. I remember flying around Coruscant in that weird yellow thing and shooting at that lady. I remember Qui-Gon dying. But yeah, you'll see more of that later, where, especially in the last trailer that I want to focus on mostly, where they're going super in depth into the story. Like, you're going to be able to play through almost every scene that happened in all 9 movies, even the little ones. They really got everything.
A young dreamer becomes a Jedi Knight. A Jedi is twisted by the dark side. And as the Force awakens, a hero rises up to save the galaxy. Relive the epic story of all 9 films in the biggest LEGO video game yet, with LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Your adventures start by picking the trilogy of your choice. Start with Poe Dameron fighting off the First Order in Episode 7. Jump into Episode 1 as Qui-Gon and his young Padawan escape a failed negotiation. Or start where it all began, as Leia sends R2-D2 and C-3PO on a mission that will change the course of the galaxy. Whatever era you choose, play through the entire saga and experience the hilarious fun only LEGO games can offer. As war spreads across the galaxy, LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga lets you experience the many thrills of your favorite battles. New combat mechanics allow for greater mastery as you plunge into the action and defeat enemies both big and small. String attacks together to form impressive combo chains that deal significant damage to enemies. And fend off oncoming attacks using counter maneuvers designed to defeat foes in styles tailored to your favorite characters. New blaster controls and mechanics put you right in the middle of fierce battles and let you aim with skillful precision. And if things get too intense, take cover and assess the risks and opportunities. When the time is right, take your shot and watch as enemies react to aimed hits. Because after all, there's nothing like having a good blaster at your side. Or choose to use a weapon from a more civilized age, as you wield a lightsaber against the saga's most sinister villains. Fight like a Jedi Knight, or someone still mastering the ways. But a lightsaber isn't the only weapon in a Jedi's arsenal. Remember, the Force is everywhere. Harness its power to lift objects, attack enemies, or influence others. Players can also take their adventures to new heights by progressively unlocking planets as you journey your way through the saga. Just open the holoprojector to access the galaxy map and chart your course. Space travel comes with its own set of exciting encounters. Be prepared to engage in exhilarating dogfights against enemy ships, or take on incredible missions as you pilot legendary vehicles. And when you're ready, make your descent to the next adventure.
That's one heck of a pilot!
Every episode in the saga is full of fun and exciting levels, many with multiple routes to progress through. So you can charge in boldly, or find a more stealthy approach. As you arrive at new destinations, you can choose to either continue onwards through the main story, or take a detour to explore iconic and expansive planets from the Skywalker Saga. From the forest moon of Endor to the desert dunes of Tatooine, get closer to the action and behold the most visually breathtaking LEGO game yet. Go off the beaten path and take on side missions. Everything from bullseyeing womp rats, facing off against scum and villainy, or pondering the great mysteries of the saga.
Tell me, who shot first? Man! Greedo!
The more you explore the galaxy, the greater the rewards. Uncover Kyber bricks to unlock new features, including upgraded abilities across a range of unique character classes.
Yeah, so this shot right here, it shows that every character in this game is going to be divided into one of 10 different classes. They can either be a Jedi, or just a hero who doesn't have the Force, I guess. A scavenger like Rey, and apparently Chief Chirpa from the Ewoks is going to be a scavenger. They can build different things. They got jetpacks and net launchers and stuff. Scoundrels are really good with guns and doing perfect shots and stuff. Bounty hunters, of course, they're bounty hunters. Villains, just kind of generic. They're the opposite of the heroes, just generic bad guys. Dark Side, the evil version of the Jedi. Astromech and Protocol droids are going to be their own classes. They actually get to do stuff in this game. If you played as C-3PO in the old games, you were basically useless. You were going to walk around being so slow. And we saw earlier in this trailer, I think, R2-D2 body slam someone, so they can fight. They can fight now. You might actually want to play as them. And then the last class is just like generic person. Just yeah, they don't get any powers. But you can upgrade all these classes apparently, and over time they'll get better, easier to use. And I'm assuming that when you create your own character, you'll have to pick one of these, and your character will get whatever abilities are associated with them. Rather than just like picking some dude's face, and it's like, oh, you got Obi-Wan's face, you got Obi-Wan's powers. Which is what some old LEGO games did that I always thought was weird. It's like, man, I want to have the power of Iceman, but I don't want to look like a weird blue dude. Like,
whether using a scavenger's net launcher to climb with swift agility, sensing opportunities for impressive shots as a scoundrel, unleashing shock grenades as a bounty hunter, or putting your better half to work as a protocol droid. Goodness me. Each upgrade makes your characters more powerful and ready to take on any challenge. And with over 300 characters to unlock, free play mode lets you play as legends from every corner of the saga and live out your greatest Star Wars fantasies. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga lets you relive your favorite moments from all 9 films and experience fun and new adventures like never before. On April 5th, the galaxy is yours.
Trust your feeling.
yeah, if you don't want to hear these guys talk, they can basically just speak Simlish instead, which is always good.
I've been a massive fan of LEGO and Star Wars since I was very young.
There's lightsabers, there's spaceships, there's weird aliens.
It was just a privilege to be able to work on the game.
It's just a franchise that spans all generations.
I'm gonna make the jump to light speed.
As soon as we started talking about doing a new LEGO Star Wars game, the ambition swelled, because as fans, we love all the movies, and to have the opportunity to tell the whole saga from episode 1 all the way through to episode 9, we knew we had to take it further than we'd ever been.
So this is one of the main things I want to point out, because this is possibly the strangest thing I've seen thus far. The way they organize the Phantom Menace movie specifically in this game is whack to me. It's very odd. So in the old one, the Phantom Menace, you started on the starship with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in negotiations. Then you went to... you just ran through Naboo for a while. Then you did the pod racing level. Then you went back to Naboo, I think? And then Darth Maul, you know, that big fight against him, and then it was over. To me, that makes sense. You start with negotiations, you end with Darth Maul. In this one, you have to look closely to see this. I was going to get up, but then I would be leaving the mic. So episode 1. The first level is you getting chased by the big fish, which is an interesting choice. Like, all that stuff, the negotiations level, is what's called pre-levels. There's going to be a lot of pre-levels where you're just doing stuff, but you can't replay it afterwards. It's just things you do. So you don't actually get a proper level until the fish. And then after the fish is pod racing. You immediately go into pod racing level 2, which that's the midpoint of the actual movie. Then the craziest part to me, the third level out of 5 is versus Darth Maul. That's in the middle. Like, that's very odd. Qui-Gon's gonna die halfway through the part of the game. That's very strange. And then after that, then you go to the Gungans fighting droids. We didn't get that level before. That's fine. Just weird that it's after Darth Maul. And then the final level, the big finale of Phantom Menace, not Darth Maul, but instead little Annie blowing up that one droid ship. That's what you end on. Don't know if I love that. That seems a little weird. But, you know, it's different. I'll be interested to see how they make Darth Maul being the middle level not feel weird. Because that seems odd. It seems like that's the big thing that the whole movie builds to. But yeah, the other two make a little bit more sense. You can see on the previous screen, yeah, you can see on episode 2, it makes a little more sense. You start off flying in that speeder through Coruscant fighting Zam Wesell. That's pretty early on in the movie, that makes sense. The second level, not Camino, but rather just Obi-Wan chasing Jango Fett through space. That is a level. That entire level is just that. Level 3 is the droid factory, that makes sense. Level 4 is the big arena where they fight those 3 beasts, and then big old battle, Jango Fett dies. And then the final level is Obi-Wan and Anakin versus Count Dooku, and then Yoda versus Count Dooku, which I doubt they're going to bring this back, but I would love if they brought back the spastic Yoda walking movement thing, where Yoda just is so slow that it's awful, and suddenly when you start attacking, that man goes crazy.
Yeah, that was great.
And one thing I haven't seen in all of these that I feel like they must have added somewhere, because it's too good. The Yoda death noise. Lego Yoda's death noise was so good. And we haven't had confirmation it's here. The last film they show on this storyboard is A New Hope. They skip over Revenge of the Sith, which is unfortunate. I wanted to see that one. But this one's pretty standard, except for level 2. Level 2 is very strange in this one also. So you start out with Leia on the Tantive 5. I don't know where else you would have started. That makes perfect sense. Then it goes to a level called Hunk of Junk. And it looks like it's just going to be Han Solo and Obi-Wan and a few of the others building the Millennium Falcon. I don't think that happened. I don't know what's going on there. But then everything else makes sense. They're in the Death Star. They're still in the Death Star in the next level. And then they blow up the Death Star. It's just that hunk of junk level that I feel like something strange happened.
Started off by having regular meetings with Lego and Lucasfilm, discussing just everything about the visual design of Star Wars, what makes a Star Wars game, how we might integrate Lego into this game.
They gave us access to all of their libraries, which was the greatest thing to be able to dig into.
The storytelling throughout LEGO Star Wars is incredible and filled with jokes and funny moments, because in a LEGO game, we have freedom.
You can use the humor and we can spin it. So Han Solo is still being Han Solo, but he might have a banana instead of a blaster or something like that.
We knew we needed to refresh the game and get something that felt familiar but reinvented. The systems, the frameworks we put in place to enable us to do that, over like 100 different gameplay mechanics and all the different systems that make up that game.
Real-time processing on the voices, so when you pick up a helmet and you put it on, your voice changes to sound like you're a stormtrooper.
Well, looks like you've got a stormtrooper problem you should look into.
We're putting a lot of emphasis on the lighting and the environments. We have something like 12,000 materials that were generated for the game, 20,000 unique models, and 26,000 textures.
If you're a fan of Lego Company's work, you'll be amazed at the resolution and the amazing work that the models team have done.
We get to recreate all these iconic designs, literally brick by brick.
We built the ships entirely out of Lego bricks. So that's not just the exterior of the ship, that's the interior, so you can land inside these ships and walk around in an environment entirely made out of Lego bricks.
If you were to build one of our capital ships in real life, it would take millions and millions of bricks.
We've designed some of the characters that don't exist as physical models.
What we would do is we'd look at the film reference and we'd take existing Lego creatures and characters that are similar, and then what we end up with is something that is as accurate as we could make it. Take the Bantha, for example. So it's just really true to Lego IP, and it's really true to the film IP.
You wanted an evolution, I suppose. So what we've done is try to keep what's familiar, but really add something a bit more modern in, a bit more fresher. One of the things we've done in this game is we've gone for a third-person camera.
With the blaster combat in the game, we really wanted it to make it feel more visceral. Now when you use the blaster combat, we bring the camera down, we get into this like third-person perspective, and it just really makes you feel like more in the action, which is pretty great.
Using the Force is a huge part of the game.
The Jedi, the Sith, they all have this Force power where they can literally pick objects off the floor and fling them about. We really took advantage of that Force power that we haven't done in previous games.
You can fly into space and there's like just interactions that'll happen. Giant ships like a Star Destroyer coming in. You can try and fight it and you can defeat it and you can capture it and take it over. I think when we're making these games, we think about the fans a lot.
So there's a few Easter eggs in this game, some stuff that we're really excited to get in.
You can switch all the weapons so that it's mouth noises. So you'll be like, zhuang zhuang, woo woo, pew pew. Pew, 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 pew.
And of course, you might have heard of a little thing called mumble mode.
So mumble mode is basically how the old Star Wars games were. We had to rely on animation, expression, and these sort of mumbles that mimicked the speech.
It goes...
Huh? Murder.
Seeing your work put together on a scale like this really makes it feel like it's something special.
This is the ultimate experience of going everywhere in the universe as whatever character you want and really being in Star Wars.
And I can't wait for players to see the hard work.
It's been a really ambitious project. What they've achieved, they should be rightfully proud of.
The one thing they haven't talked about yet that is a big feature is the character customizer. That's nowhere to be found. I'm assuming it has to be there somewhere, because it's been in every LEGO game to date.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if it's not, that'd be kind of strange.
We took a different route and got rid of it.
Yeah, we knew we had to make it bigger and better than ever before, so we got rid of it. I think the thing I'm most excited for, playing through the story mode, which usually that's not my favorite thing about these LEGO games. I'm usually trying to rush to get to free play so I can make my own character and then just explore the free play world. But with this, I'm genuinely curious to see how they take the movies and reflect it in this new kind of gameplay. Is there anything, I know we spent a lot of the trailer just kind of sitting in silence watching it. Is there anything that stood out to you from all these that you're particularly excited by or curious about?
I like the random encounters. Like, Like, there's stuff that you can just do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know. I seem like that's an interesting game. To be honest, this looks like a Lego game that I would probably pick up.
Yeah, because a lot of Lego games in recent times, they just kind of feel like every Lego game. This genuinely feels like it's beyond a Lego game. It's a full-on exploration game. And Travis and I, a lot of our favorite games are ones where you can just explore and find new things and constantly be surprised. And I feel like this game's going to deliver on that. Once we finish the story, you know, it's not going to be over at all. There's so much more stuff to do. There's 23 or 24 planets to explore. Tons of different encounters on all of them. So it's going to be wild. A few of the other things I heard that weren't featured in these trailers, apparently there's going to be bounty hunter missions that you can accept if you are a bounty hunter, and then you actually have to track down people on certain planets, sort of get clues about where the people are hiding, and then go find them, and then you get paid. And then a similar thing exists for scoundrels, the people with the guns. If you play as them, you get scoundrel missions. I don't know what those are. and yeah, that just... I like you said, I think this is going to be a Lego game that a lot of people who haven't played every Lego game are going to be tempted to pick up just because of how expansive it is. Okay, that is all. that's us. We stared at the screen for a while, and now we're going to stop. Goodbye.
Yeah.